Hello there, good afternoon, evening, and welcome to Claret and Booze. Tonight we are going to talk about the upcoming huge second leg, Lyon versus West Ham,
Massive.
over in France. If any of you are going, good luck getting over there, and hope you enjoy the game. Me, Nick, amongst many, many others, will be apprehensively biting our fingernails watching it on television. So yeah, Nick, what are we saying?
Well, look, I think let's touch on the last game first. I mean, I think we said it. We said it on the review, didn't we? Because obviously, look, there's a lot of bad feeling around that game. You know, the way that it went.
Yeah.
You know, you had all their players hitting the deck. There was a lot of play acting. That referee didn't help. You know, look, the referee was terrible, but you know, not Ndombele, Dembele. He's the real kind of the winker.
Yeah.
He's the real. They were awful. I think we said at the time that was David Moyes' team talk before the game, wasn't it? I don't think he needed one. You know, they
Mate,
should be.
all
Go on,
he's
mate.
got to do is put a poster up of put a poster up
Him.
in the changing room of Dembele. That is a team talk in itself. Someone said that on our chat last Friday, and I think it's 100% true. Because at the end of the day, you look, they're all professional footballers, and they just basically tried to cheat their way through that game.
Absolutely. And they are arrogant. I mean, even from the club. Have you seen the official tweet from the club as well? You know,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That they are so arrogant. You know, do you honestly think there's no way that we're going to get through? You know, it's just ridiculous. And the thing is, look, and the thing is,
statements like that.
no, exactly. You're setting yourself up for a fall, and they ain't been great this season. Look, they are a good team. They've got some good players, but they've got a load of players missing. I mean, I don't think they was amazing against us. Like I say, they was cheating. We went down to 10 men. They still couldn't beat us, could they? They still couldn't beat us. Still couldn't break us down.
And this is the thing that we did make a little bit of a joke that they was 10th in the Farmers League of France and all that.
Yeah.
And you know, you do have to question why they're 10th, right? And to me, they're not as good as they think they are, right?
No.
Now you could say, well, we only drew against them, but we drew against them with 10 men. The only saving grace for them was, in my opinion, is that they are more they're primed at playing European football, right?
Yeah.
They, on paper, there's not much between the 11s, I don't think, right?
No.
They have a lot of players on loan from Premier League teams that haven't made it here. Emerson, and I know the goal scorer, Ndombele from Spurs. But apart from that, and Boateng, they've got Dembele. But what they've got is they've got I think that showed our naivety, and it showed their you know what they knew about European football and how to play it a little bit, play the system, if you like.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we're a little bit too. Well, they were wiser than us in that game, weren't
That's
they?
the word,
I think that, and look, don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily want to see us doing stuff like that. I don't. But if it's a difference between, I don't want to see us outright cheating, but I would like us to sort of maybe enter into the dark arts a little bit more. Maybe you know, just kind of, even if it comes down to breaking up play, because you know you do see that with all the big teams, didn't you? You know, if they're on even on Man City or Liverpool, if they're on an attack and that attack breaks down, they'll do whatever it takes to stop that counter attack, won't they?
Yeah, it's a well-known fact that dark arts these days is called game management. Game management basically means dark arts, right? It's just a nice word. I'll be honest with you, I don't want us to go down that road, but for this one game, I don't give a monkey's how we win it. I don't care if we cheat our way through it, because genuinely, the way they played was despicable. And alongside the referee, we was up against it. And, you know, we know what's happened since that game, i.e. the Premier League game on Sunday. But let's be honest, against Lyon, we were, I thought, fantastic. Even when we had 11 men, though, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't create a lot. I don't know about you, but, you know.
No, they didn't, not at all. I mean, their goal came from it was a defensive, wasn't a mistake, but it was a mix-up, wasn't it? That they were overloading us. You know, our left back had just gone off. We'd held off for so long. They threw on a load of attackers. You know, they was going to get a chance at the end of the day, and it was a scrappy goal, wasn't it? They got a scrappy goal. You know.
Yeah. I mean, again, I did say it. I don't think Areola had a lot to do.
No, nothing at all.
Did not have a lot to do at all when you think about it. And what he did well, but he didn't have a lot to do. And I think that does speak volumes. And you know, we will come to it in a minute. We'll touch on it in a minute, but obviously things are, you know, the defence will have to be changed now.
Yeah.
And you just hope that those that play can be as resolute as we were in the first leg.
Yeah, you would hope so. You would hope so. I mean, look, it's going to be very difficult, but not just for us. I mean, look, we're all concerned about fatigue.
Yeah.
We saw how that affected us against Brentford at the weekend. People can dismiss that all they want. It is a fact. Yes, it's a problem that we haven't got squad depth. It's inexcusable, really. But we are where we are. We haven't got any. We haven't got a squad. We've got 11 players. We're going to struggle in this. We did against Spurs. You know, we saw how fatigued we were after Sevilla. You know, I know it was 120 minutes in that game, but this was a tough game as well. You know, we was down to 10 men. That probably felt like 120 minutes for the players that was left on the pitch. You know, so. But Lyon again, like we said, they've not been great in the league. They were poor again on Sunday, and again you can understand that there was only a few days gap, but they played Strasbourg, and they drew 1-1. They was lucky as well, and they suffered injuries in that game. You know, so if, I'm just going to go through the injury list. You got Mendes, who's the player who limped off against us. He's still going to be out. He's got a knee injury. Kakare, who we haven't seen, is apparently their best attacker. He's still out, so he's gone. He's not going to be available. There was rumours that he was going to be fit, but apparently not. A player called Diamande, don't really know who that is. Not, I mean, we know who Diamante is, but not Diamande. He's out with an ankle injury. Uar, who we did see, he's out apparently. Dembele, which I read today, the winker, not Ndombele, Dembele, he's a doubt. He may be missing. And as we know, Ndombele, who I think had a pretty decent game against us, and Lopez, who's their keeper, is also going to be out. So they've got a massive injury list. And what was it you said about their keeper, John? Their backup keeper, if Lopez is out?
Yeah, I think I read that their sub keeper that could possibly come in is very, very inexperienced. I think he's played 3 or 4 games or something ridiculously low. Not saying that makes him a bad keeper just based on stats, but you would begin to question obviously his experience is minimal. But like you said, you know, they've got as bad an injury list as us. So
it's worse, much worse than ours.
Well, worse, exactly. So at the end of the day, you know, they're not going to go into it full of confidence. And I think that even if Dembele is fit, you know, if Dawson can shackle him like he did in the first leg, because he was brilliant against Dembele, I think, like you said, Ndombele, the one on loan from Spurs.
That's a miss. That's a miss, isn't it?
That's a big miss, because he did have a fantastic game against us in the first leg. I thought he sort of pretty much controlled the midfield. Without being very penetrating, he did control the midfield. He had a lot of the ball, and he was marauding forward quite well at times. So he seemed like he was their, I suppose, linchpin to some extent.
He was.
So he'll be a good loss. And you know, those injuries to those players, if it comes that they can't play, the three that we did face in the first leg, that can only give our squad a boost. You know, that can only be a positive. I know you don't want to sort of reap in someone's sorrow, if you like, or applaud someone's injuries, but well, I know, but I'm trying to be nice, Nick.
I know. No, Sodom. I mean, look, we know they've still got other players as well. I thought the player that they've grabbed from the Ukrainian league, that Tete, when he came off the bench, he looked lively. He looked like a decent player, actually. So you got him. You've got Ekambe, who will be fit for the game. He was just coming back from an injury when he featured against us, so he should be stronger for our game. He's apparently their best. He scored most of their goals this year. So he's a good player. So they are a good team. They are dangerous. We can't dismiss them. But after the last game, like I said, they threw everything at us. They threw everything at us against 10 men, and we've got our own problems that we've got to worry about now. And whereas, you know, what we've got is probably wouldn't be an injury crisis to some, because like I said, when you think about it, Ogbona's out and Zouma's out. That's 2 players. Now, that wouldn't be classed as an injury crisis to any other team apart from West Ham. But this is an injury crisis because this is a massive problem. And when you factor in that we're going to be missing Cresswell as well, this kind of does make me very uncomfortable, because that means that, I think we said earlier on, we've already proved in the last 2 cup games, the last 2 cups that we've exited from, that the back three is a fucking no. We can't go there. We can't go near the back three. That was how we played and how we set up in the last 2 cup games that we exited from. It's almost like it's what Moyes does when he's panicking. I don't think we can do that. I know that people are not comfortable with Dawson and Diop, and even more so, you start to sweat even more when you think of Dawson, when you think of Diop and Masuaku, don't you? When you think of those two on the left, that's just the stuff of nightmare, isn't it? It really is.
I think we've spoke about it throughout the day, haven't we? Me and Gary. I don't think we can go 3 at the back or 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. We have to go flat back 4, as it's shown in both the other cup competitions. When we have tried to play 3 at the back, it's bit us on the arse. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Against much lesser competition or opposition, I should say, than Lyon.
Yeah.
We have to go a flat back 4. Obviously, we're pretty limited with what we can do, and also, you know, look, I love David Moyes, but we're pretty limited because he seems very, I don't know what the word would be. He's not very trusting of any of the youth players. He's not very trusting of any of the squad players. You know, Diop has to play because Zouma's gone, Zouma's out. But for me, you know, why not give somebody like Elise a go? But it's too late now because the games mean too much. And because they haven't been given a go earlier on anywhere, really, I know they had the dead rubber game in the last group game that we had. But we could have used them a little bit more somewhere. Some of these players, you know.
I think he's missed a trick because we have got a couple of good youth players. We have, you know.
He has missed a trick massively, and you know, like you said, you can't keep saying, well, they've not got experience. If you're not going to give them games and game time, they're not going to ever get that experience that you desire, that you want them to have.
And I'm not one of these fans that goes, oh, play the kids. No. It's not because, look, I love to see youth players come through the ranks. I do. Yeah. But I think this is necessity. I mean, what we saw at the weekend, what we saw on Sunday against Brentford was David Moyes. Look, he knows that team is fatigued. He knows full well. He knows that they're probably at 70, 80% because that's how we looked. So they must have looked like that in training. He knows that. That's probably why we resorted to a direct style of play. Because it's lazy football. So why not? Why not just rotate a few players? Why not bring in the likes of I don't know? He brought Soufal in, but why not bring Vlasic in? Why not throw Crow on and give him a fucking game? Yeah, why not? You know, just try something a little bit different in a game like that. If nothing else, just to rest bodies for what is the big. This is the biggest game in our lifetime.
Can I say something though?
Go on.
Personally speaking, you know how I feel about cups, right?
Yeah.
I would rather have seen Sunday we just give every other player a game because to me, 100%. I know it's easy to say in hindsight. We know the results went our way on Saturday. Now you could say we've got to take the ball by the horns and grab the 3 points on Sunday, right? But I think that gave us even more reason.
It almost became a free hit, didn't it? It became a free hit that game.
A little bit of a front. And I know a lot of people don't like the phrase free hit. But to me, why not have Noble in the middle? Why not have Crow in the middle? Why not have Vlasic? Like you said, why not have one of the youth players playing in defence to see what he's about before Dawson even got injured? You know, before Zouma even got injured, It was an opportunity to rotate. But to be honest with you, he's had opportunities all season. And if he hasn't done it by now, I don't think he ever will. And that's a shame. Because
it is a shame. And it can't send a great message to the fringe players, can it?
No.
It can't. Not really at the moment. But look, anyway, we are where we are. I personally think, even though we had a bit of a laboured, game against Brentford, that was only sort of 2.5. It was 2.5 days after our game, against Lyon. We've had we're going to have had a few days rest here, 3 days. So they've been spoiled. So they've got 3.5 days rest before the next game. And you know what? If they can't get themselves up for this, and I've got no doubt that they won't, because in this European competition, they've been nothing short of heroic in some of these games. In the last two in particular, the last two ties, Sevilla, both legs. I was happy with both of those games, and Lyon at home. It was a shame that we lost Cresswell, but I think that wasn't of our own doing. That was rubbish, wasn't it? He didn't deserve to be. He didn't deserve to get sent off for that. So it was just bad luck. But I do think we're going to go out there en masse. I think we're going to be taking. I think, as Gary said, we're going to invade France. apparently there are tons and tons of West Ham fans that have got tickets in the French end. The Lyon have been doing all they can to try and find these. There's people that have been refunded. They've found a large number of fans of West Ham fans from England that have bought tickets and they've refunded them. But apparently, that there's still going to be an awful lot.
How has Lyon not sold their home allocation?
Well, it's exactly. You know, that it can only happen if there's spare tickets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the worry is, as we know, Lyon are sort of widely regarded. Lyon as their fan base. You know, they've been referred to in the past few days as the Millwall of France in terms of their fan base. So they're not nice fans. We're no.
They've all got 6 toes.
They've all got 6 toes. Yeah, but they're not nice fans. So. You know, they've got their ultras. You know, they've been tweeting at me and they've been piping up. West Ham are no shrinking violets. It's a bit. It does feel like a little bit of a recipe for disaster from a spectator point of view. People that have gone out there. So I hope there is no trouble. But I'll be surprised if there's not. I think it's going to get
trouble. All these
games are going
to be trouble somewhere, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I know. The other thing that we heard today, right, was Declan Rice. Now we all thought that Declan Rice's yellow card that he's got, because as we all know, Rice in the first leg, we could all see it. He was playing a very controlled game. He was very standoffish. He didn't want to get booked. He didn't want to miss a second leg. We all thought that was going to get wiped out after the quarterfinal. Well, I've been reading everywhere today that isn't the case. If he gets a second yellow card in this leg, that's going to carry through. That ban is going to carry through to the semi-final.
Yeah, you know why? I think we maybe all misinterpreted it or misread it, and I'm as guilty as everyone else, because the way I'm looking at it now is, if you think about it, if he gets another yellow card in the second leg, the yellow cards aren't going to be carried over, but the ban still has to be played out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I suppose
maybe I've misunderstood.
So. Yeah,
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of where. But we all seem to have misunderstood. But I'm sure West Ham know what the rules are on it, and I think that it's going to be in the back of his head, isn't it? Because technically, you know, it could be a bit of a Gaza 90-90 moment where he has a fantastic game. We qualify for the semi-finals against, let's say, Barcelona, and he won't be able to play.
It's only one leg, though, isn't it? He'll only miss one of the legs.
Yeah, he'll miss one leg, but I mean, it could be in the new camp. How many times do you get to play in the new camp?
Yeah, no, I know. But do you know what? We can't have Declan Rice not playing at 100%. No, we've got to get through. Otherwise, it's not a conversation anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I know we thought he played a bit apprehensive on in the first leg, but personally, I think it was because they were quite dominant in the midfield. And I think they hounded him out of the game a little bit. I don't think they give him any time at all.
Well, you said he was lucky, didn't you? You said he lashed out at one point.
Oh, 100%. From where I was sitting in the second half, my son saw it with me as well, Freddie. He got the second half early on. He ran down their right. 3 or 4 of them got round him pretty quickly. They got the ball off him. One of them broke away, and he definitely 100% kicked out to one of their players, and it was very obvious. It was very obvious.
Lucky boy.
Yeah, but you know, as much as he's a hero and a fantastic professional, they're all going to have their moments, and sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. They are. So look, let's just speak about how we think that we're going to set up then. So obviously, it's going to be Areola in goal, on it. I think we've established that. I really hope he doesn't go anywhere near a back 3. I don't want to see that. So let's base our prediction on a back 4. So Dawson is obviously going to play. It's going to be Diop. It's going to have to be Diop. And look, Diop's had some good games in Europe, you know, and he should know the French league as well. So
exactly.
Right back is probably going to be. Although, do you know what? Fredericks had a good game. Fredericks played well.
I thought Soufal. I know it was nice to have him back the other day, but he's been out a while. I know no one had a particularly great game, so but I think he did look particularly rusty. I know a lot of them did.
Yeah,
but he's been out for a long time.
He will do, won't he? He will do.
Yeah, of course, I understand it. I'd rather see Fredericks at right back and Johnson at left back.
Yeah, same here, mate. Same here.
If everybody's favourite Arthur comes in, that's when problems could occur.
Yeah, I know. So the big question is then left back. You know, if Johnson is fit, he's got to play instead of Masuaku, isn't he?
I'd rather have Johnson left back than Masuaku, 100%, mate.
Yeah, so he's got to play there. The rest of the team is as you wrote. You'd like to think that although Lanzini, he was also very poor against they all were. He was poor against Brentford, but he got some game time at least. He got some minutes because he ain't played for a little while.
I don't think he'll start. I don't think he'll start in the first. I'll be surprised if he starts.
Oh, that means Benny. So you think Benny will start?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if he starts because technically, on paper, Benny should be fresher. He hasn't missed football. He's been in and around the squad for a long time. He hasn't had any injuries. Lanzini obviously had the car crash incident and missed a few games because of it. I'm not saying Benny deserves to start and Lanzini doesn't deserve to start, but I just think that he may well start Benny first and then interchange the two of them. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. It's only ever them two that really change.
I know. It's difficult,
anyway.
It is difficult, mate. Okay. So obviously Bowen will play, won't he? You got Bowen. Fornals, he will always play because Fornals he'll give whoever's on that left hand side a little bit of cover. So Fornals will definitely play. So so it's going to be Benny or Lanzini in the 10. And Antonio, hopefully, he has a better game. He did have a stinker the other day against Brentford, but I'm not going to go into it again. Gary touched on it earlier on, but I just think people have been completely unfair to him. I know he had a dreadful game. I know he's divering and he's touch led to their second goal. I'm not dismissing that. I know it did, but look, the players are knackered. They are knackered, and him in particular, I think he's got one of the hardest jobs on the pitch, John. He plays up there on his own. He's a battering ram.
He's got one of the hardest jobs on the pitch because he's playing on his own. He's also comes under immense stick. And the problem with it is, and I get it, and I've said it months ago, people's frustration with the club not getting a striker in, they take it out on Antonio. People come out with statements like, he is not a world-class striker. No one said he was a world-class striker.
No one's called him a world-class striker.
No one said that, but he's what we've got. It ain't his fault. Don't shoot the messenger if you like.
What does it actually achieve when we've only got one player that can play up front to just constantly keep on battering him all the time? I don't see the sense in it.
But you know what? He's being battered from some of the fan base, but he's also being battered from Moyes because Moyes don't seem to give him a moment's rest.
No, I know.
And I don't really understand in some of the games gone by when he hasn't thrown that Ockerflex on for the last 10 minutes here and there. He's just left Antonio on to the last minute of most games.
But John, again, that shows you how important that Moyes thinks Antonio is.
It is, but it also shows you could throw into question. You could throw the question in as to why Moyes can't see the value in resting someone that important when you've got the opportunity to. What I mean by that is, if we're winning a game and there's 15-10 left and we're 2-0 up or something, why does he still not take him off?
I know. When he's visibly like, because he gets to a point in the game where he's useless. He's gone, because he's completely blown himself out. He's knackered. At that point, surely you're right. He has to come off at that point. So that it baffles me. I
thought he started all right against Brentford, but second half he was come out even worse.
But it's not surprising if you're tired, if your performance is going to deteriorate, But look, I'm not defending him. I know there's a lot of people that are pissed off with him. I get that, but I'm not one of them. Look, and we do criticise him every now and then. He has bad games. I've had it myself on here, John, haven't we? Where we put a donkey on his head reluctantly because he had such a terrible game.
If I was gonna score him based on the Brentford game, I'd be giving him a 4, right?
Yeah.
3 or a 4. So I know he was terrible, but what I'm saying is he's the one player who I feel for because I've said it a million times. He'll be used as a scapegoat by some of the fans, and also in some ways he's sort of being abused by the club because we still haven't got that striker in to help him out. And don't forget, a couple of months ago, Antonio said, we do need a striker. He said it himself.
I know, exactly. You probably do as a player in each situation when you're struggling that much and the pressure's on your shoulders and the fan base, you probably would every now. You probably would like to be taken out the firing line at some point.
Of course,
just to have a rest.
He just needs a rest, and the problem now is hopefully. I think Moyes took him off after about 60 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah,
because he could see he was angry, and I think he got yellow carded as well. So
he kicked out
probably,
at someone, didn't he?
yeah, I
Was
think he
it
was
Henry, Rico Henry, wasn't it?
Yeah. But the thing is the last thing we need him is to be sent off, and then miss some of the Premier League games. But let's forget Brentford. We need these boys now to turn up again on Thursday. I truly believe they can.
I think they will.
We've got a good ref this time. We've got the referee from the first leg of the Seville game, who, apart from booking Deck, well, I think he booked 3 of our players.
Yeah, but I thought he was good. He was a good, solid ref, though. He was good.
Yeah. He's definitely better than Thursday's ref.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be hard, though, would it? Bloody hell.
No, but I think, they've got to go and believe it. This game, in essence. I don't want to make a dramatic thing of it, but it's not as
it is massive, mate. It
is massive, and
I'm nervous already. I've been leading up to the Sevilla game, the second leg. I was really excited and I was really positive, even up to the morning before it kicked off.
Yeah.
Then I started getting nervous. I felt nervous in the Lyon game. I'm starting to feel fucking nervous now, and we're a couple of days before the game. I'm worried about this.
Yeah, you know why you're worried, and I think a lot of people in the same situation as you. A lot of people are worried because they think if we lose this game, that the rest of the season will just fall off like a damn squid.
I know.
I'm not. I don't feel like that because I'm quite optimistic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I really genuinely think that we've got nothing to fear on Thursday. They're no better than Seville. They're not better than Seville. Sorry,
no, Sevilla are a better team.
Yeah. So what have we really got to worry about? I just hope that we don't allow them to have too much possession too early on, like we did at home in the home leg. I felt we stood off them too much and gave them too much space. We've got to be a bit more. I know we're the away team, but let's be a bit more pragmatic. Let's be a bit more in your face.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we're about, aren't we? We try and play a different way. I don't think it suits us, but
no, I mean the only thing I would say is when you've got a weak and exposed defense like we have at the moment, and that's why I would say that you can't play the back three, because when you've got definite weaknesses there, people think automatically, oh, we're missing one of our main centre backs. Let's put another one in there, so you got 3. No, it just adds to the confusion. That's all it does. And then what you do is when we play with wing backs, right? It ain't 3 at the back; it's 5 at the back. So what you're doing is you're inviting the opposition on to where you are weak, where you can be exposed. Now, look, I know for me, everyone says the same thing, but I think against Lyon, the best form of defense is going to be attack. Push them back, do what we're good at. They're not that great defensively themselves. They're not.
No.
So there's weaknesses there. We can score. There is no reason why we should afford them too much. What's the word? We shouldn't give them too much credit. We shouldn't. We should literally just go out there to win the game. That's what we want. We don't want to go to extra time again. I think we can do it in 90 minutes. They couldn't beat us with 10 men for 45 minutes. They couldn't do it. I thought we were a better team in the second half. I'm getting biased. I thought we were, but
well, they obviously had a lot of possession, but in terms of chances created, we did have the better chances.
We had the better chances, yeah.
Mate, it's nerve-wracking. Let's be honest. And I understand people's nerves. I'm not panicking yet. Yeah. No, because I believe. You got to believe. What else have you got? Got to believe, Nick.
I know.
What else have you got, mate?
It's just we spoke about it earlier on, and I don't want to bring the tone of this show down, but the thing that makes it most nerve-wracking is not just the fact that we'll be getting knocked out of Europe. It's the fact that what comes next. You know what's going to happen. The mood is just going to it's just going to dive. And you know what? In a sense, it's not fair. I can understand people's anger. I can understand people being pissed off with January, because anyone who's watched this show for more than a month or so, I've only just stopped talking about January. I was that fucking angry with it, and I'm probably going to be talking about it again in a few weeks. But we are where we are. That was a fuck up. They gambled in January. They gambled. I hope the gamble pays off. I really hope it pays off, because it needs to. And we deserve it. That team, they've needed some help. I think that team, they've been heroic this year, and you know what? As well as we deserve a bit of success, I think those players do as well. They've been brilliant this year.
100%. And the thing is, you say the gamble, whatever you want to call it, fuck up, gamble, whatever you want to call it, it's paid off up to this point.
To this point, it has.
Because we're still, whatever the other results have gone our way, we're still fighting in the Premier League, and we're into the potentially one game away from the semi-final. So at the moment, the gamble's paid off. However, obviously, if we lose Thursday, touch wood, we don't, all fingers are going to point back to January.
Of course they are.
But the only thing I'd say, and it's not me trying to be overly optimistic, we've still got to let the season pan out first, because if we do get knocked out against Lyon, which I don't think we will, we've still got 6 Premier League games left, and we've still got 6 Premier League games to finish in a European place, which is more than doable, right? So, you know, I'm not here trying to bang a drum and tell people to get behind the boys. I know West Ham fans will anyway on the day of the game, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, because of Sunday's performance, a lot of people were livid. You know, I was annoyed with it. It was terrible performance. So I'm not papering over the cracks. All I can do is put that to one side and concentrate on the Lyon game now, because this is what it's about. This is our season to some extent right here. You know,
it was absolutely the only thing I'll say about the weekend, and you know me, my knees jerk. They do, but what I don't understand is I can understand being absolutely disgusted with that performance, because it was awful. It was a dreadful performance, but when you do look at it in perspective, at least with that performance, you can see the reason why. You know, at least you can think to yourself, well, look, we was playing Lyon the few days before. At least there's a reason for it. It ain't like we've had 2 weeks rest and we've come back and played like that.
No.
You know, it's kind of that game was sandwiched in between 2 of the biggest games of West Ham's history.
Yeah.
You know, it really was. You know, and like I think you said on the weekend show on the Saturday Night Booze Up, you said it weren't about condition. You said how did the players get themselves up for it? How do they focus their minds?
It's not even how do they focus their minds. It's also, I don't care who you are, some of them players have come from non-league, championship and all that, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that they can go out against Brentford without thinking about Thursday's game.
Absolutely,
do you not think there may have been an element of, Jesus, I don't want to get injured here. I don't want to. There's always going to be that element of it. Listen, we can say as much as we want. They're professionals. They should go on the pitch and give it their all. I get that. But if you have a 5% doubt in your mind or worry or concern about picking up an injury for Thursday, that can have an effect on your performance.
Yeah,
I know. As well as the physical fatigue.
Yeah.
You're worried about picking up an injury for the biggest game in your career.
Yeah, I know. But do you know one thing that is for certain, though? If we beat Lyon on Thursday, when we beat Lyon on Thursday,
that's it.
Nobody is going to give an absolute shit about the loss against Brentford. They're not going to care. No one's going to care. It's going to be forgotten. It's going to be forgotten straight away. Yeah,
of course. The problem is, as we know, if we don't beat Lyon on Thursday, which we will, like you said.
Yeah.
But then I'm very concerned about the fan base turning. I'm very concerned, you know.
Yeah, well, I know. But look, let's worry about that if and when it happens. It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. You know, we're gonna do them. Oh, look, we're better than Lyon. I think we're a better team than Lyon. Apart from anything else, I think that West Ham are better than Lyon. You know, we beat Sevilla. You know, we are. If we go out there, we play our game, even though we've got a couple of injuries, right? That's all we've got. We're not missing half of our team. We're missing a few players.
No.
It's not the end of the world. Moyes should be able to move the pieces about enough to cover for a couple of players being out. You know, it shouldn't be, because, like I said earlier in the show, 2 players being injured and 1 player being banned, it shouldn't amount to a crisis.
No,
it shouldn't. You know,
but it becomes a crisis when you don't have choices.
I know. That's a crisis. Don't get me started on January again, John.
What about putting Declan Rice as centre back?
Mate, you can't take him out the middle, can you?
I don't know. But
and the thing is, John, when was the last time he played at centre back as well?
I think, but you said you always say he could play anywhere on the pitch and be our best player. You say that.
I think he could. I think he could, but yeah, I know.
I'm only joking. I'm being over the top.
I know. But anyway, mate, look, we were supposed to be doing 15 minutes. We've done 35. So
nice chatting to you.
Yeah, that was good, mate. That was a good chat. So look, we have premiered this show. So like I say, if you've watched it live when we stream it, get involved. We're going to be watching it as well. So we should have interacted with you in the chat. Drop a comment on the video. Give us a like if you enjoyed it, of course. And yeah, we will be back for the Friday night booze. No, we'll be back for a review. So after the Lyon game, we are going to jump online, whether it's a win or
review.
Yeah. We're going to jump on late after the Lyon game to do a review. We are going to do that.
We will be in a joyous, happy mood after our win, and we will be reviewing our win. And we'll all be having a few little beers.
We certainly will be. Because it's a long weekend coming up. So, you know what I mean? Yep. What's not to like?
Easter eggs and West Ham winning.
That's it.
Happy days.
Anyway, that's us done. Thanks for watching. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.